What if everything you've been told about aging and bone strength is incomplete, or even backwards? What if the real reason bones become weaker after 60 isn't simply getting older, but missing certain biological signals your body has been waiting for all along? If you're over 60, here's a startling truth most doctors never emphasize. Your bones are still alive, still responsive, and still capable of rebuilding bone density even late in life, meaning the ability to increase bone density never truly disappears. And in just a moment, you'll see why this hidden potential for natural bone rebuilding has been underestimated for decades. Did you know that bone loss often happens silently, long before a fracture ever occurs? You can feel steady on your feet, move normally, even believe everything is fine, while tiny structural changes are happening deep inside your bones. According to new research on skeletal aging, there are specific nutrients that don't just slow bone loss. They can help rebuild bone density naturally by awakening dormant rebuilding pathways inside the bone tissue. And soon, you'll hear why these pathways can suddenly switch on with the right nutritional cues. Here's a surprising question. What if these crucial nutrients weren't primarily found in pills or powders, but in ordinary foods? Real foods that strengthen bones, hiding in plain sight in your kitchen or grocery store. And in a moment, you'll see why this matters far more for someone over 60 than for someone at 30. Maybe you've been told that declining bone density is inevitable, a one-way slope you can't climb back up. But here's what's truly encouraging. Many older adults are discovering that with the right targeted nourishment, bone density doesn't just stabilize, it can actually increase. Imagine the difference that could make in your confidence stepping off a curb, getting up from a chair, or walking outside without that quiet fear of falling or fracturing a bone. Your sense of mobility and bone health after 60 may be more changeable than you think. And coming up shortly, you'll learn how quickly some people begin noticing changes once bones start responding. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, if your body can still build muscle after 60, and we know it can, why wouldn't your bones also remain capable of renewal? What if your skeletal system isn't shutting down? It's simply waiting for the correct tools? This is where nutritional science becomes incredibly hopeful, because it suggests your body is far more adaptable and responsive than traditional advice implies, especially when using natural osteoporosis support through diet. And just ahead, you'll hear how these foods influence not only bone density, but also balance, agility, and everyday stability. Here's the good news. Your bones are not finished. They are not inert or static. They are dynamic, living tissue, always listening, always adapting, and always capable of responding to the right nutritional signals. In this video, you'll discover why certain foods can play such a powerful role in supporting real bone rebuilding, and how even small dietary adjustments can start sending those signals back to your skeletal system day after day. This isn't just about calcium. It's about giving your bones what they truly need to strengthen from within. And what you'll see next may change the way you look at bone health entirely, especially if your goal is to prevent fractures naturally. Now, let's begin with number 10. For many adults over 60, the real danger isn't the moment a bone breaks. The threat lies in the silent years before it, when bone density gradually declines without pain, without warning, and without obvious symptoms. You can feel perfectly fine, walk normally, and assume your bones are strong, while deep inside, subtle weakening is already in motion. This quiet erosion of bone density is what makes it so deceptive. It doesn't announce itself with pain, but slowly undermines your structural strength one microscopic step at a time. According to new research on skeletal aging, many people only discover reduced bone density when a sudden fall or unexpected misstep exposes the vulnerability, often for the first time. And in a moment, you'll see why this silent erosion is especially important for those focused on bone health after 60. Here's the empowering news. Bone loss is not a one-direction decline. Your bones are living tissue, dynamic, adaptable, and capable of rebuilding bone density naturally well into later life. Modern research shows that the body retains its ability to form new bone structure, reactivate rebuilding pathways, and increase bone density when fueled by the right nutrients. That means fractures are not an unavoidable consequence of aging. In many cases, they can be prevented naturally and even reversed. Countless older adults report measurable improvements in balance, mobility, and walking confidence once their bones start receiving the nourishment they've been lacking. And coming up shortly, you'll hear how this internal rebuilding mechanism actually works inside your skeleton, and why foods that strengthen bones may work better than supplements alone. Now for the practical solution. In this video, you'll discover a group of everyday foods that don't just support bone health in a vague way. They are scientifically linked to improvements in bone density, bone metabolism, and structural bone integrity. These aren't expensive supplements or miracle formulas. They're accessible, affordable foods that might already be in your pantry or just a few steps away in a regular grocery store. You'll learn how to use them correctly, how they function inside your body, and how they can help restore the steady footing and quiet confidence you thought age had taken from you. And in just a moment, you'll see why the first food in this countdown often surprises people, especially those trying to prevent fractures naturally. So, with that foundation in place, let's move forward and begin our countdown as we step confidently into number 10. According to researchers studying skeletal aging and bone metabolism, the human body continues to renew and remodel bone tissue far later in life than most people assume, even well into the 70s and 80s. In simple terms, your bones are not finished. They're still listening to nutritional signals and still capable of meaningful improvement. That's why so many older adults begin noticing real changes in balance and stability once they adjust their diet to include foods that strengthen bones. It's not placebo or wishful thinking, it's biology at work. Let's break down what this really means for improving bone health after 60, and in just a moment, you'll see why this is far more encouraging than most people ever hear from their doctors. A 2023 study found that specific nutrients can stimulate osteoblast activity. These are the cells that actively rebuild bone tissue and increase bone density naturally. In everyday language, your bones have microscopic construction crews working inside them, but they need building materials to operate. Many adults over 60 don't feel as steady as they once did, not because the body is failing, but because those bone-building cells haven't been properly nourished for years. Let's explore how giving your body the right materials can shift your bone trajectory in a positive direction. And shortly, you'll hear how quickly some people notice improvements once these pathways reawaken. Experts in geriatric nutrition agree that calcium alone is not enough. Bone density depends on a synergy of minerals, vitamins, proteins, and collagen-building compounds working together. Put simply, bones aren't just calcium rods. They're complex living structures with a collagen-based interior and a mineralized exterior. That's why so many seniors are shocked when a bone scan shows thinning even after years of calcium supplements. Let's take a closer look at what's been missing, and in a moment you'll understand why the old advice of just take more calcium often fails to actually rebuild bone density. Some clinical observations show that nutrients from real food are absorbed and utilized more effectively than isolated supplements. Your body seems to recognize food-based minerals more naturally. You may have noticed how after eating a balanced meal, you feel more stable, more energized, because natural nutrients create broader metabolic signaling that improves bone metabolism and supports natural osteoporosis treatment through diet. Let's examine how this food-first approach plays out in bone health as well. And very soon, you'll hear how easily these habits can be folded into everyday meals. Here's the empowering truth. Your bones are not relics of your younger years. They are responsive, living tissue capable of reinforcing and rebuilding when properly supported. In this video, we'll look at specific foods linked to improved bone density and real structural strengthening from within. But before we begin the countdown, there's one key concept we need to clarify first. Now, let's begin counting down the 10 science-backed foods that may help your bones rebuild density and strength, step by step, beginning with number 10. As you hear these, try to imagine how they might fit into your weekly meals, because the real benefit comes not from isolated use, but from gentle, consistent intake over time. And in just a moment, you'll see how the order of this list is intentionally designed to build one bone-supporting mechanism on top of another. Number 10. Sardines. They provide a rare combination of highly absorbable calcium, vitamin D, and phosphorus, all of which help mineralize bone tissue and stimulate internal rebuilding, supporting natural bone health after 60 in a way that supplements alone often cannot. These nutrients don't just float through your system. They are recognized and captured by bone cells actively remodeling and rebuilding. Try enjoying sardines 2 to 3 times per week on whole grain toast, in salads, mashed into spreads, or even straight from the tin for convenience. If you're on blood thinners or have sodium concerns, choose the low-salt versions when possible. For many adults over 60, improvements begin quietly. More secure footing, improved stair confidence, less hesitation when rising from a chair, and an overall feeling that your body is becoming more stable and trustworthy again. And just ahead, you'll see how a modest leafy green helps anchor calcium into the bone framework, essentially locking in the minerals for real density improvements. Number 9. Kale. This dark leafy vegetable helps activate bone-binding proteins such as osteocalcin, which physically anchor calcium into your skeletal framework, meaning the minerals you consume become part of your bones rather than simply passing through. Add kale by sautéing lightly in olive oil, adding to omelets, massaging into salads, or blending into soups for a mineral-rich boost a few times each week. If you take thyroid medication, avoid consuming kale within a few hours of dosing so the nutrients don't interfere with absorption. Many seniors report that after a few weeks of consistent kale intake, they experience smoother balance in the morning, better mobility in the hips, and less stiffness after sitting. And coming next, a fruit with a quiet mineral strength that supports long-term bone rebuilding from the inside out. Number 8. Figs. They supply a powerful trio of calcium, magnesium, and boron, minerals that support mineral retention and ongoing bone remodeling. These nutrients help your bones recycle and repurpose minerals efficiently, reducing the rate of bone thinning over time. Enjoy dried figs as snacks, or mix fresh figs into oatmeal, salads, yogurt, or cottage cheese. If you have diabetes, be mindful of serving size, because even natural fruit sugars can accumulate. The effect is a slow, steady internal reinforcement, like strengthening the foundation beams of a house rather than just repainting the exterior. In just a moment, you'll hear how the next plant-based protein supports natural osteoporosis protection through a completely different hormonal pathway. Hack 7. Edamame. These young soybeans contain phytoestrogen-like compounds, which may support bone density pathways influenced by hormonal signaling, particularly beneficial after menopause, when estrogen decline accelerates bone loss. Edamame can be enjoyed steamed with a pinch of sea salt, tossed into salads, blended into high-protein dips, or eaten straight from the pod as an easy snack. If you have soy sensitivity or thyroid issues, check with your healthcare provider first. The benefit can be improved skeletal resilience, less tenderness in the joints, fewer wobbly moments, and an overall sense that your bones feel more supported from within. And just ahead, you'll discover how something as tiny as a seed can deliver a concentrated mineral infusion that directly supports collagen in the bone matrix. Number 6. Sesame seeds, or tahini. They provide essential minerals that help reinforce the collagen-based internal scaffolding inside your bones, the flexible, organic structure beneath the hard calcium shell that gives bones their durability and shock absorption. Think of collagen as the cushioning mesh that prevents bones from becoming brittle. Adding a spoonful of tahini into dressings, blending it into hummus, or sprinkling sesame seeds over salads, stir-fries, or roasted vegetables gives your bones these structural building blocks in a natural, food-based form that your body recognizes instantly. If you're watching calorie intake, simply use a moderate serving, because the benefits don't require large amounts. For many adults over 60, sesame-derived minerals help bones become quietly sturdier over time, a gradual reinforcement from the inside outward rather than a temporary boost from a supplement. And in a moment, you'll hear how a humble pantry staple, often overlooked, can actually energize your bone metabolism and help your bones produce new tissue more efficiently. Number 5. Chickpeas. They support bone metabolism by delivering micronutrients that help with mineral absorption, collagen synthesis, and nourishment for osteoblasts, the specialized cells that physically build new bone tissue. Adding chickpeas to soups, salads, stews, or roasting them for a crunchy snack provides bone-strengthening nutrition along with plant-based protein that supports muscle tone, another factor vital for preventing falls and fractures. If you tend to experience bloating or digestive sensitivity, start with smaller amounts, and increase gradually as your gut adapts. Over time, many adults over 60 report that movements become smoother, footing feels more reliable, and everyday actions, like stepping off a curb or rising from a chair, feel steadier. That's because as bones become denser, the entire skeletal system begins functioning with more internal stability. And just ahead, you'll see how a humble Asian green delivers more bioavailable calcium than many dairy products, making it an extremely powerful ally for preventing bone thinning naturally. Number 4. Bok choy. This cruciferous vegetable offers highly bioavailable calcium, meaning your body not only receives calcium from it, but actually absorbs and uses it efficiently. This makes bok choy especially valuable for anyone who cannot tolerate dairy or who wants a more digestion-friendly calcium source. Add it to stir fries, steam it gently, or simmer it in soups to maintain nutrient integrity. If you have a history of kidney stones, you should monitor calcium and oxalate intake with your medical provider. Not because bok choy is a problem, but because you'll want to ensure overall intake stays balanced. The result is bone nourishment that feels light and supportive, not heavy or difficult to digest, helping strengthen bone structure gradually and naturally. Many older adults find it contributes to better movement confidence and postural alignment over time. And coming up next, you'll learn why the next leafy green, rich in vitamin K and bone-binding factors, can literally help lock in calcium so it stays in your bones where it belongs rather than drifting unused through the bloodstream. Number 3. Turnip greens. They help direct calcium into your bones rather than allowing it to float unused through the bloodstream or settle into soft tissue where it can contribute to arterial stiffness. Turnip greens are rich in vitamin K, calcium, and supportive phytonutrients that work as bone anchoring agents, essentially pinning minerals into your skeletal matrix. Enjoy them steamed, sautéed in olive oil, or mixed with collard greens, kale, or mustard greens for a powerhouse micronutrient blend. If you're on prescription blood thinners, talk with your doctor about vitamin K interactions to ensure safe balancing. Over time, the result is not just theoretical. Many older adults feel stronger where it truly counts. Hips for stepping stability, spine for upright posture, and knees for everyday mobility. This is part of how bone density changes translate into real-world confidence and steadier footing. And in a moment, you'll hear how a simple, old-fashioned sweetener, overlooked by many, delivers a surprisingly powerful mineral infusion that helps increase bone density naturally. Number 2. Blackstrap molasses. This old-world nutrient source delivers a concentrated supply of key minerals, including iron, magnesium, manganese, and calcium, all vital for bone metabolism and the activation of bone-building cells. Just 1 teaspoon stirred into warm water, tea, or oatmeal acts like a microdose of bone nourishment. Not heavy, not overwhelming, but steady and supportive. For those watching blood sugar, small servings are enough. You don't need a lot to reap benefits. Many adults over 60 describe the effect as a subtle internal recharging, almost like giving your bones access to minerals they've quietly been missing for decades. When used occasionally as part of a whole food strategy for natural osteoporosis support, it helps create a nutrient-rich environment in which your bones can repair, regenerate, and maintain structural integrity. And coming up next, you'll see how a familiar grocery store ingredient, transformed by UV exposure, can strengthen bones even more by amplifying vitamin D signaling and mineral uptake. Number 1. Mushrooms, especially UV exposed. These mushrooms have a unique ability to activate internal calcium utilization by boosting natural vitamin D pathways. This matters because vitamin D is the communication channel that instructs your bones to actually use incoming minerals to rebuild density. Without vitamin D activation, calcium often passes through the body unused. Add mushrooms regularly to meals. Sauté them with garlic, grill them with olive oil, or blend into soups and sauces for a deep, savory flavor that supports bone nutrition. If you have gout or uric acid concerns, just keep portions moderate. Over time, the result is stronger internal bone signaling, meaning your bones don't just receive minerals, they absorb them, integrate them, and convert them into new bone tissue. Many people over 60 describe improvements in stability, posture, and bone confidence once these foods become a regular part of their routine, And in just a moment, you'll learn how to combine these foods into simple daily habits, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so your bones receive continuous support and long-term protection. If you've been feeling a little more careful on the stairs, or noticing that your legs and bones don't feel quite as steady as they once did, you are absolutely not alone. Millions of older adults quietly share that same experience every single day. It's not weakness and it's not failure. It's simply your body asking for support, and by being here and learning more about bone health after 60, you're already taking a powerful step forward. And in a moment, you'll see why simply having this awareness already puts you ahead of so many people who silently hope things will improve on their own. Here's the reassuring truth. Your body retains its ability to adapt and rebuild bone density far longer than most people realize, even into your 70s and 80s. Your bones are still responsive, still adaptable, and still tuned to the biological signals you send through your daily habits. Even small changes in food, hydration, sunlight, or gentle movement can lead to meaningful improvements in balance, stability, and day-to-day confidence. And what you'll hear soon may be the reminder you didn't know you needed, especially if your goal is to prevent fractures naturally. I genuinely want you to feel that everyone here, including you, is part of a community that chooses knowledge over fear and action over resignation. We consistently hear from viewers in their 60s, 70s, and even late 80s who share their progress, not because of luck or genetics, but because they found the right information and applied it consistently. If you're willing to learn and adjust gradually, your body is capable of surprising you with renewed strength. In just a moment, you'll hear how people just like you have already experienced noticeable improvements in steadiness and mobility. And I'd love to hear from you directly. Tell us in the comments, how old are you, and what is your biggest bone strength or mobility goal right now? Is it better balance on stairs, fewer careful moments, less stiffness in the morning, or simply the desire to stay fracture-free for years to come? Your voice matters. Your story could be exactly what someone else over 60 needs to read today. Somewhere in the comments, you may even find someone your same age aiming for the very same goal. And that connection can be incredibly motivating. Your experience, your persistence, and your journey are part of something so much larger than this single video. You are helping to build a supportive circle of people committed to stronger bones and safer movement. You are not a passive viewer here. You are part of a shared movement toward better health and more confident living. And the more we learn, talk, and encourage each other, the stronger our collective momentum becomes. Now, with that sense of support and optimism in place, let's move forward. Because in the next section, you'll learn exactly how to apply these foods in everyday routines so your bones actually receive and use the benefits. As we come to the end of this video, I want to gently remind you of something important. Always speak with your doctor or healthcare provider before making meaningful dietary changes, especially if you're taking medications for blood pressure, thyroid function, diabetes, blood thinning, or anything related to calcium or vitamin D metabolism. Your health history is personal, your physiology is unique, and that brief medical conversation helps ensure you're supporting bone health after 60 in the safest and most effective way possible. And in a moment, you'll see how this simple step can actually accelerate your progress, not slow it down. Here's the encouraging reality. Your body still recognizes nourishment, still responds to gentle care, and still retains the remarkable ability to repair and strengthen, even after 60, 70, 80, and beyond. You are not behind. You are not late. Your bones continue to rebuild, your muscles continue to adapt, and your nervous system continues refining balance and stability. Sometimes progress begins subtly, but it's happening, one day at a time. And this shift from decline to possibility can make all the difference. If this video helped you feel informed or encouraged, or simply less alone in your journey towards stronger bones naturally, please take a moment to like the video. It genuinely helps this message reach others who may be quietly worried about their bone strength. And if you know someone, a spouse, a friend, a parent, a neighbor, who could benefit from clarity and hope, feel free to share this so they don't have to navigate these concerns in isolation. You never know. One shared video may be the turning point for someone else's mobility and confidence. Thank you for spending this time with us and for choosing knowledge over fear, curiosity over resignation, and proactive care over passivity. The fact that you're here, engaged, thoughtful, and willing to learn, speaks volumes about your resilience and your commitment to living with steadier movement and more confident steps. You are actively shaping your future, and that is something to feel genuinely proud of. And if you'd like to continue this journey, stay with us, because in the next video we'll explore daily habits and simple lifestyle adjustments that work synergistically with these foods to rebuild bone density and help your body move with greater stability and confidence.